As a Lloyd's of London market broker, data is critical to our operations, and the seamless movement of data through our organization is even more important. If the risk transaction is difficult, it makes it difficult for our clients, it makes it difficult for our carriers, and that's just not acceptable for our growing organization or business. To that degree, we've put a lot of investment into our data platforms and our data strategy. Directly internally, we work a lot on our business intelligence platforms, and we focus a great deal on putting the power in our brokers' hands, a lot of self-service analytics that help them answer the questions that their clients have. We extend that out as well to our clients and to our customers and give them the analytics capability for them to be able to transform their own businesses and achieve their growth ambitions as well. We're focusing on three core areas of our data strategy. First, overall governance. It's really important that we get the data conversation correct and that we look after that in a responsible way that meets our regulatory requirements. Second, having a common way of talking about data in the organization is critical. The core data record's helping us a great deal with that as we standardize across the entire market the way that we interact, the way that we discuss, the way that we refer to different elements of the risk process and risk transfer process. Finally, this opens up amazing opportunities for us, the standardization of the data and the standardization of messaging, and enabling us to access large data sets. We can leverage machine learning and artificial intelligence to drive new analytic capabilities to our clients and customers. That's a fantastic question. When we think about where the immediate attention is as a business, it really is making sure that we're ready to change along with Lloyd's, along with the rest of the London market. And that's a collaborative effort. We all really need to be on this journey together. So in terms of approach, it's really making sure that the data standard, that core data record, is ready in our systems as much as ready for our carriers and our clients and ready in their systems as well. All four areas are a priority for us at the moment, and really they speak to, or they're analogs for, our own initiatives. They map very much with the digital transformation journey that Miller is on. From our data first and API first level strategy and the approaches that we're taking to center our business and our new enterprise technology around that space, to the democratization of IT capabilities, pushing that capability into our businesses, making sure that technology and technical literacy is a skill set that every member of the organization has. That's about adoption, and that's about taking on new challenges and new ways of thinking as we move into this new phase of our market. Our delegated authority space is fundamental to our business, and we have a very deep interest in that. We've been trading electronically with our cover holders for over a decade. We've been doing that quite well. That said, we've been using technology that is overdue for a refresh. And as we've worked closely with our cover holders, partnering with them to make sure that we're building the systems that they've needed, we've deployed API solutions that allow risk, premium, and claims transactions to be committed and maintained automatically. These API connections can connect directly to our cover holders' agency management systems, removing the barriers to entry of reporting on Bordereau or managing their risk with Miller. The Blueprint 2 does a wonderful thing, and actually it makes that process more open. We don't have a vested interest in keeping that digital journey locked just to us. In fact, we want the best for our cover holders, and that means them being able to move easily between platforms, between providers, so that they're always getting the best class of service through the London market. We're on a digital transformation journey, and a lot of that change has to touch our infrastructure and has to touch the architecture that we use to deploy the systems and services that Miller needs. We've moved increasingly away from an on-premises architecture into the cloud. That gives us the flexibility and the scalability to respond to growth targets, to respond to the ability to change quickly and deliver new technology solutions. Equally, we've moved towards a composable architecture when we think about how our business technology runs. And that means that we can take pieces of the core infrastructure of our core operating model and replace them, swap them in and out for newer, better functionality. This works very nicely with the Future at Lloyd's program and plan, which is an iterative process. And as new capabilities come out of the program, we're ready to respond and adopt them on an as-needed basis so that, again, we can serve our brokers' needs and our clients' needs as quickly as possible. The first and most obvious benefit is easing the insurance transaction, speeding the information as it moves from client through broker to carrier and into the market. But that's not where the real value comes. The real value comes from the insight, the knowledge, the information that we can glean out of a data-first approach. It allows us to have greater visibility in the aggregate of vast amounts of information that we can use as a market to better insure our risks, to better know what is a good investment and what isn't. But more importantly, to make sure that our clients, that those who are actually needing cover, get served properly, that they're paying the right amounts, that they're getting their claims processed quickly, that the entire insurance transaction functions as seamlessly and easily as it could. The only way to do that is through a data-first approach. We need to talk about culture in the first instance. We're a 300-year-old market, and it's too easy for us to continue to operate in the ways that we've always operated. The technology changes that are in front of us aren't necessarily even new anymore. They're just things that we haven't adopted yet. And in adopting them and implementing and accepting them, that takes willingness to change. That takes a desire to do new things, to be somewhat more bold in our approach to transformation. So I think as an organization, our challenge is to become more digitally literate, to empower our brokers, our clients, our customers, everyone in the value chain that we deal with, to be more technologically forward-thinking, to be more willing to adopt new technologies and new standards, to give a little in terms of saying, this may be the way we've done it. We've been very comfortable in this area, but we're willing to do it a little bit differently for the good of our market, for the good of our clients. That's the change that needs to happen first. The systems, the technologies, the standards, they will fix themselves, but not without that cultural adoption and that cultural change that needs to happen first. I think the single largest effort that pays the most direct dividend right now is agreeing a common standard for how we talk about insurance. There's no lingua franca that exists digitally for our business, and the Future at Lloyd's program is doing remarkable work in that regard. But that's not sufficient on its own, and in order to advance that work, to advance that message, we all have to be willing to change as brokers, as carriers, as participants in the market. We have to change our internal systems. We have to change our ways of thinking. We really have to deliver a standard that we all own, that we're all contributing to, and that we feel represents not just what we're doing now, but where we need to be going in the near future.